Good evening, everyone. Alice here from Safi Financial Network. Today is April 25, 2022. Um, in this video, I'm going to talk about Boeing. Boeing earning is going to be April 27, which is going to be 2 days now on Wednesday. That's going to be before market open. So basically, Boeing earning for the previous quarters were not good, especially last quarter was absolutely terrible, I should say. And the surprise was minus 8,444%, which is pretty bad for Boeing. And it is normal just because during 2020 and 2021, Boeing earnings and revenues were down due to COVID, due to lots of problem with the Boeing with the Max 737 and the aircrafts. However, the good news for Boeing is coming just because um, the industry is ramping up, the demand is ramping up, airlines are coming back after COVID, and the lots of the other projects are are described in Boeing, and Boeing company is getting involved with lots of industrial projects like aerospace projects, like going to have a contract with the other companies which they are involved in aerospace, and that would be beneficial for Boeing, and hopefully the estimation actually is going up as well. So this is just estimation. We don't know exactly if it's gonna be happen or not, but this Wednesday is going to be earning announcement for Boeing for the first quarter of 2022, and we will see how it goes. But from the chart perspective, where are we at Boeing and where are we heading to? Here is Boeing monthly chart. I just want to delete all the lines and then we can go through together and see where we at. So prices, as you see, prices coming back down. After COVID crash, it just go up to 281, and then again coming back down to 176, which is not good at all for Boeing investors. Just look at the price prior COVID crash; it was all the way above 300, and right now it is at 176. So if you just pay attention to the monthly chart, it is very interesting. If you connect this pivot, and going all the way back there, so you will see even during COVID crash, just prices coming back down, piercing through a couple of times in 3 months, and then spiking up to the upside. And right now we are again coming back to have like 150 SMA on monthly chart. This is the fourth time that we are hitting to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is the fifth time, and the interesting thing is, look at this line. This is kind of forming a triangle, and triangle in monthly chart or higher time frames are very important, just because whenever this triangle in either way has a breakout, that breakout is going to be very substantial for the next months. So we are at the extreme low. Even if we break down, I would say, even if we break down, we are not going back all the way to zero. There is always possibility, but do you think Boeing is going to be bankrupt? Because Boeing and Airbus are the only brand monopoly in the airplane industry. And do you think Boeing is going to be bankrupt? So the possibility is yes, but probability is very low. And we are not betting on Boeing to go to bankruptcy. So that's the first assumption. The second assumption is, are we going to experience a worse situation than COVID-19? So COVID-19, just Boeing goes down all the way to $90, I would say, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 89. And then price just reversing back up, didn't touch that line again. So I would say when all the airplanes are seated, just because there is no any flight, when all the aircrafts are seated, when we have like a max 737 problem. So Boeing experienced a very, very bad situation, or very, very awful, or I should say nightmare situation for Boeing. They didn't allow Boeing go to the bankruptcy. They just support it, right? And I would say we are at the same sentiment now. Boeing demand is better, production line is working better, and the contracts with different companies, with different governmental contracts, are very, very better. So right now, Boeing is retracing back down to the very, very nice area, just because we are at this wide range bar, and this wide range bar is kind of like an institutional level, and we are just coming back down to this wide range bar, 100 SMA on the monthly chart, and this is the trend line, and this trend line is very, very strong, and whenever we hit this trend line, it doesn't go close below this trend line. Whenever it goes down, it's just spiking back up again. So I would say, based on this monthly chart, Boeing is going to be a good setup for buying opportunity, and we will get to the weekly chart. If we see the weekly chart, here's the weekly chart. So the potential for upside for weekly chart, as per as weekly chart, is going to be huge, just because whenever we are breaking through, basically whenever we have like this spike down, this parabolic move to the downside, and then we have a pattern, a forming pattern like this. So whenever this pattern is going a breakthrough to the upside, the same maximum extension that we have to the downside is going to be the same maximum extension to the upside, just because the similarity of the market is going to be like that. So is it going to be like 400 above or so? It could be, but I'm not saying there is going to be guaranteed to going all the way to here. As I said, this is maximum extension. But whenever we break through this channel, because that was a nice triangle, the one that I show you, so that triangle helps us to see the maximum extension potential is going to be substantial. And right now price is hitting this gap area, so you see 157, 175. That's going to be gap area for the weekly chart. And I just want to show you something pretty interesting. Let me show you in daily chart. Here is the daily chart, and whenever we have this breakthrough to the upside, Boeing doesn't allow to anyone to get to the trade, because when you find out there is a breakout, it's going to be late, just because Boeing spiking up to the upside parabolically and then coming back down, consolidation or retracement, then spiking up with a gap, huge gap, like a 10%, 15%, and then in a blink of an eye, it goes to the upside, like it gets doubled. And again, coming back down, here is the smallest one. And after that, when we hit this resistance, this is very, very nice supply area. This is very, very nice institutional level. We just piercing that one and then coming back down. Anyway, so Boeing is in long bearish channel, downtrend channel coming down, and as you see here, all the moving averages are above this price. But here's the thing, price is coming back down again, going back to this gap area here, and whenever price is hitting that gap, it's kind of supported by institution. So here is low, here's the higher low, again today just gap down and then going back up. This means, I think, we are at the end of the correction, if we are not finished the correction. So we are pretty close to the end of the correction. And this can be a good setup for long, just because, as I said, this long bearish channel, whenever it breaks out to the upside, there is going to be tons of potential to the upside, probably 278 and 280. That would be the maximum target for now, for because this supply area is very, very strong. And look at that, what happened to the price, just piercing through and then coming back down sharply. So this supply area 278, 297 is going to be huge, but we are at 177, 178, sorry, 175. So the upside target is going to be $100, and that's going to be huge. And for those investors who are investing, or swing traders who are doing swing trade based on monthly or weekly chart, they can just put their stop loss here below 157, which is this gap fill, and they can just trigger a setup right there. So 170, 175, that would be a good opportunity. 157 is going to be a stop loss level, and the upside target is going to be free, I should say, just because when it goes up here, so that's going to be your first target. In case of breakthrough or consolidation, it can go all the way to 250. This is going to be the next resistance level or target, and the last one is going to be 275, which is going to be institutional level, as I show you here. All right, so just keep an eye on that. Boeing is going to be in a nice setup for now, so I myself definitely take a look at it to see if we can just take a trade, and in swing trade and also investment as well. All right, I think I cover everything for Boeing. If you have got any question, please go down there in the chat box, and if you like this video, please smash the like button. Thank you, have a good day, see you on the chart.